الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. فقال سبحانه وتعالى بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام را كتاب أنزلناه إليك لتخرج الناس من الظلمات إلى النور بإذن ربهم إلى صراط العزيز الحميد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us in the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the Quran upon us to take people out from dhulumat, out of the darknesses, out of shirk and kufr and all of that which is an oppression and a destruction, ila nur, to the light of Islam, the light of Tawheed, the light of the Quran and Sunnah, the light of the Akhirah. There is so much, when we look at Tafsir al-Tabari of these books, when we see the aqwal of the Sahaba and the Tabi'un, there is something amazing. But what is important for us today is to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to us the Quran and gave us the hadi, the guidance of al-Mustafa alayhi salatu wasalam in order to preserve us and save us. And those that do not follow the Quran, those who do not follow the Sunnah, those who leave Islam, there is nothing but darkness and destruction for them. And that is why we have such an important aspect of da'wah, is to try to save people, save mankind from destruction. In the Quran, in a surah that is very small, short surah, but a surah that Imam al-Shafi'i, he said that if this was the only thing revealed, it would be enough for mankind. At-Tabari, he mentions with a sanad that the Sahaba, and Ibn Kathir as well, that the Sahaba would never sit with each other except that they would recite the surah with each other in a gathering, which is wal asr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, in wal asr, He takes a qasam, He takes an oath. Imagine, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, here, when you want to be serious about something, you say, this weekend, I saw this guy, and you say, no, you didn't. You say, Wallahi, I did, right? It's become so common nowadays, some of the kuffar that you're saying, Wallahi. Some people take it very light, but this is the qasam. Wallahi, wow, huruf al-qasam, you're taking an oath by Allah. And when you take an oath by Allah, what's the point? To show the seriousness of what you're saying. Right? So, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes a qasam, you need to understand that what's following it is very serious. And for us, we can take qasam by only Allah. We don't take mati qasam and this, kasme and all this stuff that you have nowadays. No, in Islam we take qasam by Allah only. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes qasam by His creation. So asr is time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes the qasam by time. That verily, إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Verily, mankind is in khasara, it's in destruction. They're lost, they're losers. And this is the general case. So, when you walk out and you see somebody who's rich, he's got a Bentley, or he's got a Ferrari, he's got a Lamborghini, or you see somebody on a motorcycle or a broke bicycle with a broken chain, doesn't matter. The reality is, all of them are in loss. And they are all heading towards destruction. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves His creation, He loves us. So to take us away from that, to protect us from that, He sent the Quran. He sent the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and before him Anbiya, to remind us that no, you're heading in the wrong direction, and how will you be saved? It's not, if you can make money, khalas, you're saved. If you got clout, you made it. If you got over 1 million followers, you made it. No, that's not the way it works. How does it work? Is إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. What is the first shart? You want to be saved or no? Yes or no? Yes. You're not going to sleep, are you? Because I'm more tired than you. We're not sleeping today, bro. Not sleeping? Alright, good, man. Hyped up? Good. So what's the first shart? Iman. If you don't have Iman in Allah and His Malaika and the articles of Iman and everything that Allah has ordained upon us to believe in the Quran and the Sharia and the Hudud and the Hadi and Mustafa alayhi salatu salam, if you don't have Iman, the rest doesn't matter. Oh, Mother Teresa, she was such a good woman. No, she wasn't. Who said she's a good woman? She was out there trying to misguide people and bringing them to kufr. This is not good. The rest doesn't matter. Bill Gates, what was he doing on Epstein Island? Don't worry about Bill Gates. Right? When you talk, you guys didn't get that. So the first thing is, what? What's the first thing? Iman. Y'all asleep, man.
Iman.
I'm the one traveling and just like, where are you guys at? The first thing is? Iman. I swear there's like 10 people sitting here, man. I see 100 and I fear 10. Iman in Allah, in His sifat, in His uluhiyyah, in His rububiyyah. And Allah is the only one that we worship, is the only one that we make dua to. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Khaliq, He's the Malik, He's the one that controls everything. He's the Razik, He's the one that can give rizq, He's the one that gives life, He's the one that ordains the death, He's the one that is qadir on everything. We have to have belief in Allah. And everything else from the Quran being the kalam of Allah, the ahkam and the sharia, and the Prophet ﷺ being the last messenger of Allah, the best of mankind, and all of that is Iman. And much more than that. I don't have time to go into tafsir of Iman yet. Inshallah, you have shuyukh that can do that. But is that enough? Some people, like Christians, I don't know if you guys deal with a lot of Christians here, but we do. They're always like, salvation is free. You just believe in Jesus, that's it. And if you believe in Jesus, you're going to heaven because it's a gift. Really? Yes. You guys pray and fast and all that. We don't have to do all that. We just believe in Jesus. Really? So Hitler's going to heaven? No, he was a bad guy. Well, but he did believe in Jesus, so what does this being a bad guy have to do with it? Jeffrey Dahmer used to eat kids, but he believed in Jesus, so go to heaven? No, he was a bad man. I thought you said it was free, man. It's one of those rip-off deals, where they like sign in for free and then they try to charge you? But in Islam, we don't do that kind of stuff. We don't believe in hypocrisy. We don't believe in nifaq. We say what we do and we do what we say. So we say, no, just because you have a Muslim name and you say you believe in Allah is not enough. Your Iman is in actions. Your actions are part of your Iman. So, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. What do you have to do? You have to strive, struggle, pray, fast, go for Hajj, Umrah, Zakat, Sadaqah, Dua, Da'wah, Quran. We do our best. We strive and struggle. We want to set a good example. Every one of us has shortcomings. Nobody's asking for perfection. But we have to try. We can't be like, yo, I'm Muslim, I'm your brother, but I'm selling drugs. No, bro, that doesn't work like that. You're Muslim, you gotta leave the junk alone. You gotta leave the ends. You can't be a road man. You gotta be a masjid man. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Is that enough? That's it? Iman and good deeds? Many people, they come make salah, they say, why do I need to do anything else? I make salah, namaz padhta hu, roza rakhta hu. What more do you want? No, it's not what I want, it's what Allah ordains. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ. Wait, take it easy, don't get ahead of me. We didn't get to the tawasaw bil-haqq yet, huh? What does that mean? You call towards haqq. Al-haqq is from the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you call towards Allah. But haqq also refers to the deen of Islam, the truth. And everything that is ma'ruf, everything that is good. And included in that, when you call towards haqq, is to forbid from evil. Amr bil ma'ruf wa nahy anil munkar. So that means that if you want to be saved from the punishment, if you want to be saved, it's not enough that you just pray and fast and say you believe in Allah, but you have to stand up for the truth. Inshallah, pretty soon they won't let me into this country, so I might as well say what I want now. When you get rainbow flags and all these letters and stuff, no, we're Muslim, we're not ashamed. We say this is wrong. Because Allah said it's wrong in the Quran. Tell them, go pick up your own Bible, Leviticus and Romans, and read it yourself. No, when somebody wants to make haram halal and halal haram, we don't put up with that. We say what Allah said in the Quran, what Mustafa alayhi salatu wasalam has shown us, this is the haqq. This is the truth.
So when there's a car blocking a driveway, Honda LF12K VV. LF12K VV is a Honda blocking a driveway. Please move your car. Jazakallah.
So when we talk about being saved from the khasara, from the loss, then we have to do da'wah, calling towards haqq. Every one of you has a responsibility towards da'wah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us in Sahih Hadith, بَلِّغُوا عَنِّي وَلَوْ آيَةً. What does hadith mean? Beautiful. How many speak Arabic? Raise your hands. Alright. I'm going to say it in Arabic, but I'll translate for you, inshallah. بلغوا هذا تكليف. أردو اللي تكليف لي شيخ. عني هذا تشريف. ولو آية هذا تكفيف. It's beautiful. بلغوا, this is a responsibility given to us, a job, a task that we've been tasked with, that go and convey. Who gave you this responsibility? Who gave you that? Who permitted you to do da'wah? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Anni. Hada sharf. I mean, this is an honor for us. We are the messengers of the messenger. How many of you believe that Rasulullah Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is the last prophet? Raise your hands. If I see anybody's hands not raised, brother, what should you do? Want some brothers to talk to you outside or something? I'm in the right masjid, right? Jawad Khana or something. So, if you believe that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as we do, no doubt, the Aqidah of Islam, Khatam al-Nabiyyin, last prophet, La Nabi Ba'di, there is no prophet after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We believe that, it's in our Aqidah, right? Then who's going to do that job of the Anbiya? Who's going to take this message of Islam to the corners of the world, to the kuffar, to the people who don't know? Just some jama'ah? Or shuyukh? No. Every ummati of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has that responsibility. And that's why then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, وَلَوْ آيَةً Takfif, made it easy for you. Even if you know one ayah. You don't have to be Sheikh al-Islam, Doctor, Alim, Mufti to give da'wah. But what does that mean? That means you don't speak about what you don't know about. Right? If you know that there is La ilaha illallah, speak about that. But don't be like, Wallahi fil haqiqa, yani fil ra'i. Nobody made you a mufti, relax, right? If you don't know, go to the people of knowledge. You have shuyukh, you have a'imma, go to them, ask them the questions. Take that knowledge from them and take it to the people. But every one of us has that responsibility. If I see you speaking, I want to call on you, so y'all better pay attention. So, the da'wah, don't blame him for it, come on, are you ratting him out? Don't be a rat, hold it for bro. So here, we have a responsibility in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to call towards haqq. Now, comes the last part that you guys were getting ahead of me on. What is وَتَوَاصَوْا? What does that mean? Patience. Why? Because da'wah will always be coupled with sabr. When the Anbiya used to pray, nobody gave them a hard time. You know, when Ibrahim alayhi salam didn't worship the idols, nobody gave him a hard time. But when he started giving da'wah, telling people the idols are wrong, now he was given a hard time. When Musa alayhi salam was living in the house of Fir'aun, the ulama said he never worshipped Fir'aun. Allah kept him on the fitrah, but he had no problem until he had to tell Fir'aun what you're doing is wrong. Nabiyyina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam never worshipped the idol. He never worshipped the cross. He always worshipped Allah, even before Nabuwah. But he used to pray to Allah in the Ghar al-Hira, and he used to make dhikr, and he used to stay there for days, and he had no problem. They loved him. They called him a Sadiq, al-Amin. But when the da'wah came, Ya ayyuhal mudaththir, qum, fa'andir, wa rabbuka fakabbir. Now the da'wah came, now he is Sahir and Majnoon. Why? Because da'wah comes when you face off against the batil. As a da'i, you are a direct enemy of a shaitan. You know, some of you, mashallah, study, you know, there is tuhur and tahir and najis, aqsam al-ma, the water. The four madahib, they all agree on this. There is tuhur, tahir and najis. Then there are subcategories, some of the madahib, but this is essence of it. Tuhur is water that is pure in itself and it purifies. Tahir is pure but it doesn't purify. And najis is filthy in itself and it does not purify. One of our Sheikh used to say, as an example of najis is a kafir. He himself is najis, filth, and he doesn't help the community. He makes things worse, bars and alcohol and all the kinds of things. And tahir is like somebody who is pious. They're good for themselves, but they don't benefit society. And tuhur is like the da'i. He himself is good, but he also benefits the society. He benefits, when he sees something wrong, he calls it out. When he sees something good, he calls towards it. He benefits others. So this is how we have to be. But when you are that way, you will get attacked. Sometimes physically, trust me, I know. Sometimes verbally, sometimes online, sometimes face to face. Sometimes people attack you like they did with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Taif, or they did in Mecca, or in Uhud, with the blood, the Mubarak, the blessed blood of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was spilled for this deen. So at that time when you give da'wah and the hardships come, this is why sabr is so important. Not just for yourself, but calling each other towards it. You see a brother, he starts getting lost in this world. You're like, brother, what you doing? He's like, I'm trying to make money. You're like, look, make money, but halal. He's like, nah, halal's not quick. I said, I know, but you gotta be patient. If you want to do it the right way, you gotta be patient. Because haram never has barakah. And that's why when we make dua in Surah Al-Fatiha, in Surah Al-Fatiha, the Sheikh read, obviously it's leading the salah, even it's the silent salah, but Fatiha. And as you know, in Maghrib you will listen to him as well, and Isha and so on, right? He says, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. We ask Allah, oh Allah, guide us to the straight path. Whose path is that? الذي أنعمت عليهم من هم? Who are the ones that Allah has given His blessings on? The Quran makes tafsir of this. That they are the Nabiyeen, the Siddiqeen, the Shuhada, and Saliheen. Who are the ones that Allah put His blessings upon? This is the way of the Anbiya, the way of the prophets. And the Siddiqeen, the people of Sidq, who are they? The best of them, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Shuhada, the likes of Umar and Ali radiallahu anhum, and Uthman radiallahu anhum, these are Shuhada. And the Saliheen, the pious who followed them. So we ask Allah to put us on their way, not on the way of Tupac and Biggie and I don't know what else. The new guys I don't know, right? It's been a long time. But those aren't the people we look up to. We look up to the pious people. So that we can be saved. Because in the end, there's only two destinations. That's why we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from being on the way of the مغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. مغضوب عليهم, who are those? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us, don't be scared. Sorry, it's a hadith on it. Is the Yahud? And who are the ضالين? The Nasara. And today everybody's trying to get on that way. Another car parked there?
It's the same one. But that car's not moved. I'm sorry. It's a blocked driveway and it's causing some inconvenience. So I'm sorry. But this is a Honda. I'll say the number plate again. LF12KVB. Please, if this is your Honda, it's been blocked. Please move it. LF12KVB. Jazakallah khair.
Somebody run the plate, find out who this is, man. You disturbed all of the lecture, man. Allah guide you, brother. So, when we look at that, we ask Allah for protection from the misguided path. And we ask Allah to be on the path of the prophets and the Salihin. Why? Because in the end, there's only two destinations. For the young brothers especially, I know when you're young, a lot of times it's very easy to get lost in life. And it's very easy to start losing your way and getting caught up in things. But the reality is life is short. And you may not realize it when you're young. You know, subhanAllah, one of the things that I do myself, and I encourage the brothers to do, is to go to the maqbara, the qabristan, the graveyard. And I don't know about here, but in America, like on the graves, usually we have just the name and the date of birth and death. Just a little, so people know it's a grave. If you have the same thing here, go there and just look at it. Look at the date of birth and death, and look at the ages. And you will find people younger than yourself. Younger than you. I have friends that were killed, shot, stabbed when they were 12, when they were 14, when they were 16. And that made me realize life is short. And it's not just about stabbings and shootings. You could be crossing the street, get hit by a truck. You could be taking a bath, slip and fall. Whenever death is written for you, you don't know. And this life is very valuable. It's a test. This is your examination hall. You ever taken a test? Have you taken a test? Never? In your entire, you went to school or no? You went to school? No tests in your whole school? Oh, so you have taken a test. All right, change it up now. All right, when you took a test, was there a timer or no, you could take it as long as you want? There was a timer. You took one too? MashaAllah, good. All right, so was it stressful? Yeah? During the test, did you take a nap? No. Did you play video games? I hope not. Then you would be failed and your dad would be disappointed. What did you do during the test? What did you do with the big black jacket? Yes. Huh? No, not what subject. What did you do? Were you taking the test? Were you answering questions? Were you focused? Huh? Did you pass the test? We're going to talk later. So, when you're in a test, it's not time to sleep. It's not time to play around. And if you do, like him, then you have to retake the test, right? I'm just kidding. So that's the thing. In life, can you retake the tests? Can you retake a test in life? No. Once you die, test is over. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. This life is that test, and the ticker is on. When the test will end, none of us know. But when it ends, you can't come back. And if you had £1 billion or €1 billion or $1 billion and 10 Lamborghinis and 30 Rolls Royces and you died on kufr, you failed your test. Wallahi, those cars and money and fame will do nothing for you in the qabr. And if you have nothing, or you have all those billions and money and cars and everything, either one of those spectrum, but you die on Tawheed, on Islam, on Taqwa, on being close to Allah, wallahi, you will be successful. Whether you're rich or poor. There were Anbiya, like Sulaiman alayhi salam and Dawood alayhi salam, they were kings, but they were successful as kings because they lived by the Sharia. And then there was the likes of Qarun and Fir'aun, who were kings and billionaires and rich for that time. They were the wealthy and powerful, but they were failures because they didn't have Allah. So this is the thing. In the end, there's only two destinations. There is one destination called Al-Jannah. Allahumma razaqna Al-Jannah. May Allah give us Jannah. Say Ameen. That was weak. You guys aren't really interested or what? Allahumma razaqna Al-Jannah. Ameen. A place where you will never have sickness. A place that you will never have death. A place where you won't get bored of things. Have you ever played Fortnite? Yeah, right? How many hours did you play straight? Be honest.
You play all the time.
Hey, are you a builder? Right? If you play Fortnite for 20 hours straight, you'll be bored of it. That's why you deleted it. Good job, man. You're reading Quran instead now, right? If you played it for 20 hours for 10 days, if I put a gun to your head, yes, I'm from the US, we have guns. But just an example, relax, right? And I made you play Fortnite every day for a month straight, you will hate that game. Next time you see one of those little building things, it'll make you want to throw up. Why? Because in dunya you get sick of things. Huh? What's your favorite ice cream? Brother in the black vest behind you. Yeah, you bro. You don't like ice cream?
I do, but
Fake one, bro.
oh, Ben & Jerry's.
Ben & Jerry's?
Yeah.
That's not a flavor, that's a type. Cookie dough. Inshallah, you got the kid at heart, huh? Alright, so cookie dough ice cream. You love cookie dough, right? You like it at least, right? If I forced you to eat cookie dough for 30 days straight, didn't give you anything else but cookie dough ice cream, wallah, you'll hate it. Right? This is the dunya. You get sick of it. But the Jannah is such, you don't get sick of anything. Every time you taste, it's better. You know, this mindset or this thing that we have, that we get sick of things, why do we have it? Because this dunya wasn't meant to be forever. But in Jannah you will not have that. No hasad, no jealousy. Imagine in Jannah, when you get to see Allah, when you see the Prophet ﷺ, imagine meeting Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and Ali radiallahu anhum. Your grandparents, your parents, your cousins living forever. That is a destination worth striving and struggling for, being patient for. And if you don't, there is no middle. The other destination is an-nar. Allahumma na'udhu bika min an-nar. Qul ameen.
Ameen.
Allahumma na'udhu bika min an-nar.
Ameen.
Because the nar is nothing to play with. You know, sometimes when you're young, you make foolish comments. Sometimes you speak to young brothers who are caught up in the wrong life, and you tell him, what are you doing? He's like, I just wedded a brother, you know. You wed him up here, that's what they call it. You tell him what you're doing is wrong. And he says, even then I'm a Muslim, even if I go to hell, I'll get out. All right, go home, turn on your oven, put your hand on the fire. Let me know how long you can hold it. Imagine a fire that is so bad that if you were taken out of it and put it in the fire of the dunya, you would feel at ease in it. A fire is so much worse than this, and it's all around you. You're sitting on it, you're sleeping on it, that's why there's no sleep. You're burned from every side, and you never, you know, when you get burned in dunya, your skin, it takes off the nerve endings, you don't feel it anymore. But not in the nar. Every time it's worse. Nothing but zuqum, to eat something thorny that cuts you up when you drink, pus, hot boiling pus, and blood, and disgusting things to drink. It's nothing to play with. And this is why more, you know, when somebody's been to jail and they get out and they tell people, look, you don't want to do that because I've seen it, it's really bad. And then people outside don't really get it, like, oh no, you just hang out, it's not that bad. And then you get to jail, there's a big guy that becomes your friend in ways that you don't want him to be your friend. And then you realize that jail was nothing to play with. Right? I'm serious. Jahannam, an-nar, is so bad. It's so horrible. It's so scary. And you don't want to play with it. If you can't put your hand on your oven and had it be there for a while without burning and running and going, then trust me, you can't play with Jahannam. Next time haram is presented to you, think about Jahannam. Can I handle it? The answer is no. So don't do it. You know, back in the days we used to say, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. If you can't handle being in Jahannam, don't go towards sins. Easy. Make your barrier from the sins. Because in the end, there are only two destinations. One of the Anbiya and the Salihin, of the pious and the scholars, and that where you will enjoy forever and ever, and the other of the kuffar and mushrikeen, which will be a punishment forever and ever. That is the end of it. It's your choice. I'm just here as a reminder for myself and all of you, my brothers and sisters in Islam, a tazkirah, a reminder that we are right now in that examination period. And if we fail, there is no retakes. And the stakes are high. Either Jannah forever or An-Nar. You make your decision. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to preach, practice what we preach, and to benefit from it, and to make the right decisions. Inshallah, with the permission, I would open up to the Q&A, inshallah.
We're very fortunate to have Sheikh here today, and one of the requests that I made to him was, please give us some time where we've got a lot of youth here and elders, mashallah, so we can ask some questions to him, and inshallah he can give us some answers as well. So can I just have a show of hands? Inshallah, if you've got any questions, please let me know. We've got one brother here straight away. Sheikh, has he asked the question? I'll repeat it or you can repeat it.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, do you consider atheism or another faith like Christianity to be the greatest threat or like problem for Muslims?
No.
In the context of, because with other religions, according to my understanding, is other religions add elements, Christianity add elements, whereas with atheism, all you have to do is forget your own faith.
Good question. The question is, do I consider atheism to be the greatest threat to Islam or other religions? With other religions you add things, but atheism you just take away. I don't consider any of them to be threats to Islam. Islam isn't threatened. Islam is growing. The Muslims, on the other hand, we may have challenges. And the greatest challenge we have is being, in my opinion, ignorant of our own religion and ghafil, not mindful. Atheism is childish. Even a child wouldn't, I mean, if you take a little child and you ask him who created the sky and who created this earth, even a kafir child will tell you God. You know, the one above. You know, like it's such a simple concept. When I debate with atheists, it's always the easiest debates. They don't know science. They don't know, they always say, I believe in science. All right, I believe in science too. I took science class in school. You think I had to take science, right? But what does that mean? Does science tell you right from wrong? No. Can science tell me whether it's okay to kill somebody? Is there any scientific explanation? No. Does science tell me it's not okay for me to rob this brother and take his money? No. Sorry, brother. Just an example. Relax, man. Don't look over your shoulder. I'm in front of you. Relax. I gave up that life, man. Right? So the atheism to me is not a threat. I think most of the people that you file as ex-Muslims are usually either fake or they were like Shia, Qadiani or something, you know. Hardly ever, because, I mean, who could believe that this whole thing came by itself? It's childish. Other religions, and again, kufr is kufr. Whether you're Jewish, atheist, Hindu, Buddhist, agnostic, in the end, it's all kufr. May Allah protect us from that.
Any other questions? Just one second, we'll just see that. Con, we hand up. Yeah, go on.
So I have a question. You know, debating in Islam and society, so is it permissible to debate people to like spread da'wah?
Is it permissible to debate people to spread da'wah? We don't go out to debate.
You don't have to really like, you have a conversation, like let's say a Christian asks you a question, you ask questions back and forth.
Yeah, that's not a debate, right? That's a da'wah. In Islam, we must give da'wah. You give Christians, Jews, Hindus, atheists da'wah. And if they ask questions, we respond to their questions. And if you don't know, you go to the Sheikh here and you ask those questions and you take that knowledge back to them. That's in Islam. But we're not debaters. Like, I'm not a debater, I'm a da'i. In course of giving da'wah, pay attention, I'm giving your answer now. So, in course of giving da'wah, sometimes you have to debate, right? Some of the great Imam like Imam Abu Hanifa, he was a very skilled orator and debater as well. But we don't set out to debate. That's not our thing. We set out to give da'wah. And if we have to give debate in order to get the message across, then yes, we do it.
Any other questions? Yes, brother.
Can we make dua for Shia leaders that died?
Make dua for those that are alive or dead?
Yes.
No, you can't make dua for kuffar that are dead. You make dua for the living.
Muslim
May Allah
leaders
guide
do
them.
that.
I'm
What
not
do you say to
responsible.
them?
Look, I'm not responsible for Muslim leaders, and I'm a nobody, right? So, if you ask me, can you make dua for somebody who makes shirk and dies on shirk, then the answer is no. Any particular leader? I don't know. I don't know what they did. I don't know them personally. I didn't hang out with them, never played basketball with them or anything like that. And if Muslim leaders do, then khalas, we'll leave it to the ulama to give them nasiha. They don't need me.
Next question, inshallah. Yes, brother. Come forward. Come.
Sheikh, we live in a Catholic country. Some of the non-believers say they're really old. So what do you think the best response would be to someone who is just so focused around
I don't know if you want me to answer that. The question is, what is the best response to somebody who insults the Prophet ﷺ? Depends on your situation. But the best thing that we should be doing as a community is educating people, right? Well, then ignorant, then educate them. You know, tell them, look, do you know who the Prophet is? Do you know what he did and his miracles and how he was a mercy to mankind? Maybe give them a pamphlet about, how he was rahmatul lil alameen. And if they don't want to listen, I'm going to give the politically correct answer. Walk away and tell them it's okay. Tell them come to San Diego, we'll talk to them.
But do you think gay physical could be
Next.
That one, inshallah. Any other brothers and quick questions? Yes, that one. If you could just stand up when you get it, that's fine.
What is the best way to seek knowledge, and what books would you recommend if you want to start?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. What's the best way to seek knowledge? The best way to seek knowledge is to look for the local ulama that are upon proper knowledge of things and take from them. And then you can travel and seek knowledge from other ulama in other countries and things like this. I don't suggest just picking up books. Regarding what are the best books to begin with, I mean, a lot of it depends, right? Like, I mean, it depends which ulama you have access to, what books they can teach you. Like, I could give you a book, but then you might not have a teacher in your locality that teaches that book, right? So even with Nahw and Sarf and Balagha and Usul and all of that, there are different paths, right? You could go a very classic path to Ajrumiyya and Alfiya and Kafiya, or like nowadays you have Arabiya Bani Yadayk or Nahw al-Wa'ada, which are, again, very proficient books as well. So it really depends. We have a channel for our masjid called Masjid Ribat, and in it there is a playlist for books and research, and I give videos about different books and how to study and things. So we could suggest that. But again, I mean, it depends, right? Like, whatever the shuyukh here are teaching, like, maybe you start with Nur Rida or Hidayah, Quduri, that's, you know, other people they may cite, or something like the Risala ibn Abi Zayd and Mukhtasar al-Khalil, depending on the madhab and the path that they take you through, inshallah.
Now, just before the next question, can the boys over here please be quiet once the Sheikh is talking? Out of respect, please, I ask you once and only once. Please have that respect, inshallah. There's just one question over here. I'm going to come to you next.
It feels as if, like, in the last over 10 years in the West, a lot of its dysfunctions have come right at the forefront. Has it become easier for you now to give dawah now than, say, maybe like closer towards the time when the Iraq war happened and when the war on terror was at its peak? What would you say are the differences, and what are the telltale signs that you're dealing with someone who's insincere?
Those are three good questions. The first part, that the shortcomings or the illnesses in the West have come forefront in the recent times. That is very true, and I think a lot of people are seeing that. Right? That's why you see a lot of influencers and people like Andrew Tate or Sneeko and these people becoming Muslim, even though they weren't really around a Muslim environment, but they see the hypocrisies of the West, kind of chickens coming home to roost kind of a thing, and they have seen that the only viable option for salvation of the West is Islam, so they're going towards it. So that's very true. Would I say it's easier to give da'wah now than like 10 years ago during the Iraq war? Yeah, nah. That was always easy. I mean, alhamdulillah, we don't, nothing stops us,
Do you
nothing.
think people are more receptive to it now than ever before?
I think people are more receptive to it, but I also think people are more hostile to it. I think it's wrapped up on both sides, right? It's polarized. Before, I remember giving da'wah and people would look us in thobes and they would be like, "Are you Jewish?" Or, you know, they'd go like this to you and you'd be like, "What are you doing?" I take showers. So,
That's
you know,
correlation to success.
I mean, I don't know. I think success is from Allah.
Success in like Islam in general is great.
Brother, one question. You've asked about 4 or 5 now. We can't keep it. There's a ticket man giving tickets outside on a double yellow line. The brother just advised. If you parked on a double yellow line, you could remove your car. Otherwise, you're going to get a ticket. So you should.
What's the last part of the question?
You answered my question.
Okay, he answered it, mashallah.
Okay, next. Yes, one minute.
Wa alaikum assalam.
When we read hadith, how do we know which ones are trustable, which ones aren't?
When you read hadith, how do you know which ones are trustable, which ones are not? There is a science of classification of hadith called Mustalah al-Hadith. Obviously, you have to be skilled in it to go down that path. But again, there are ulama that have done what's called takhrij, that they've done work on checking a hadith in books, and you can get those works, or you can come to your local ulama and present the hadith and find the grading. A lot of books now put the grading, but again, to truly understand it, you have to study the ulum of hadith. On the Masjid Rabat channel, we do have an 8-part series called the Science of Grading Hadith Made Easy. So it's just like an introduction, it's all free, you don't have to sign up or anything. And then you'll understand how hadith are judged. So then when an alim says hadith al-mutawatir or sahih ghayrihi or so on, then you'll understand the grading.
Our brothers have his hand up all the way through. Go on, stand up, stand up. Yeah. Stand up and just say your question.
Men wearing what? look, the men wearing chains, right? Chains are not something that were meant for men. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Sahaba in that time, people had chains. Women had chains. Aisha radiallahu anha had a chain that was lost during the incident of the Ifk. Jamil, the wife of Abu Lahab, in the Quran it talks about the masad, which is again their chain and so on. So women had wore chains, men didn't wear chains. They had rings, men had rings, so for a man to wear a ring is permissible, right? But the zina or the beautification of the man is not with little, bracelets and little chains and earrings, and those are for women, right? For the beautification of the man is in the beard. So men should have beards, men should have any manly attitude. That's what makes a man handsome, Aisha radiallahu anha said that the beauty of the man is in the beard. But nowadays, because of the feminine qualities of the Western society coming on us, now men want to wear like little chains and little bracelets, little ding things, so they think they're cute. Up their eyebrows and stuff.
Next question. Go on.
When you were younger and you were like hanging out around, were you not scared that you were going to get shot?
No, I mean, yes. The question is, when I was younger, hanging out with the wrong crowd, was I afraid I was going to get shot? I mean, yes, in a way, to be honest, yeah. You never wanted to get shot, right? But at the same time, it was the life you lived, right? So you kind of took it as a part of the reality you had to deal with.
Next
So the
question.
brother in the white in the back's been having a long time. Wa alaikum assalam. Good question. So we know as somebody becomes Muslim, their past is wiped clean and their bad deeds are turned into rewards and Allah blesses them. But does that mean that they have to go through trials and tribulations and hardships after becoming Muslim to gain that, or are they starting out with a black streak? From what we know from the Quran and Sahih Hadith is that when they enter Islam, at that moment Allah wipes out their past. Clean sweep. It's a reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As somebody who makes tawbah as well. Not just because you're Muslim doesn't mean you can't get that. People that go for Hajj and so on, Rasulullah said they would come out like a newborn baby, right? Their sins can be forgiven. But then you have to protect yourself, right? But meaning that you can't just depend on that. After that, how are you going to act? That's very important. And that's why you always try to put the new Muslim in a good environment. Because they will go through hardships, and Allah will protect us all.
Sheikh, I've got actually one question I want to ask. I don't run out of time. When we've got students going to college, university, they'll obviously face teachers, they'll obviously face peer pressure. People will be pushing them towards, in school as well, smoking and all the rest of this stuff. And then you're going to have the other sects where it'll be, we're atheists, and we have situations, I think some brothers have mentioned, your religion will be attacked. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a thief, he stole from Jesus. And these are true things that happen. This is it, right?
According to them.
Exactly. So so unfortunately the Muslim boy, girl, sister starts to lead a double life. What is your advice to the community, to the congregation, especially the youngsters? What can they do in that environment, especially when they go to work at a young age? Those first few years are difficult to establish yourself.
I was raised in the West. I went to school in the West. Even, alhamdulillah, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought me towards Islam, and I still went to school, I went to work. And I can tell you this, when you understand your identity as a Muslim, when you know I'm a Muslim, when you know I'm a person of Tawheed, a person who's a belief in the oneness of Allah, a person who is, inshallah, from the people of Jannah, you should never half-step it. And be firm. But nobody can peer pressure me into anything. Why? Because I know right from wrong as a Muslim, right? If somebody tells me you want to smoke, why would I want to waste my money on a thing that smells bad, doesn't really do anything for me, it doesn't help you, give you lung cancer and throat cancer, and you see people who smoke a lot, then they get throat cancer, and then they got a little hole, how are you doing? My name is John. I got throat cancer. What do cigarettes do for you? So what's the point of cigarettes? Like, what's the benefit? What does a cigarette do? Nothing. It has absolutely no benefit for you. You know, if you look at people smoking weed, I mean, they smoke themselves stupid. You know, you look at them and they're like, they can't hold a sentence together. Why would you want to? You know, I never drank alcohol in my life. In my life. And when I was younger, it's not because I didn't even know a lot of the Islamic rulings. It's not because of that. But when I was 12 years old, I saw a guy get drunk and pee on himself. So honestly, you go here in London at, you know, Saturday night at the pub time, and you know, you see him laying in the streets peeing. And I looked at that and I said, I never want to be like that. That's disgusting. So understand something. Allah didn't ordain something upon you except that it's good for you. And Allah didn't make something haram on you except that it's bad for you. So if somebody tries to tempt you towards haram or towards bad, know that they don't want good for you. And be proud, praise Salah in front of them. When they say, are you a Muslim? Yes. Are you one of the fundamentalists? I'm a fun guy, yes. The funnest fundamentalist you'll ever meet. And be proud of your Islam.
The last couple of questions, inshallah ta'ala. Yes, brother.
Assalamu
Walaikum
alaikum. Do
salam.
you follow a particular madhab?
I studied through the Hanbali madhab, yes. Yeah, I mean, that's just the Sheikh that I studied with. But any madhab you follow, as long as you're loyal to Quran and Sunnah, nothing wrong with that. There are schools to try to develop a student to get to the Sunnah. And all the madhab, they're ai-imma, like Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi, Imam Ahmad, and other madhab that are no longer existent, like Awza'is and others. They all were good. They were all people looking to get to the Sunnah. But our loyalty, of course, in the end, Qala Allah, Qala Rasul, and that's what each madhab taught us.
It's going to be difficult. This brother here, just to the back. Yeah.
Wa alaikum assalam. Is there any what?
Goatee.
A goatee? Are you a goat? No. A beard is like this. You let it go. I mean, whether you have a little hair, because that's what Allah gave you, or you have a mashallah, nice, full, big beard, like some of the brothers here, that's the beard, right? That's the man, right? But when you start like shaving up your beard, and like the blade starts to touch your lahya, you're messing up, right? So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, trim the mustache, let the beard grow. Some of the Sahaba used to trim at a fist. So if you trim at a fist, it's permissible. But the beard should be let go. I mean, like people make little designs now, like little girly, little patterns. I don't know what they're doing.
Okay, that's quite quickly, Papa.
Alaikum assalam.
Nowadays, you see a lot of young guys my age wear grills. It's temporary.
So wear what?
Grills.
Like a.
You know that silver little cap that they put on their tooth?
Okay.
It's temporary. What's the...
Why do they wear a grill? Like something wrong with your teeth?
Beautify their teeth.
You want to beautify your teeth? Who are you showing your teeth to? So you want to. Okay. So this is a good question. He said that some of the young people, they want to wear grills. They want to beautify their teeth because, I don't know, they want their fellow rappers to be attracted to. Anyway, and then when I asked you, you said it's rap culture, right? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Man tashabbah biqawmin fahuwa minhum." What did he say? Whoever imitates the people is from them. So if you want to imitate Tupac and you want to end up where he ended up, go for it. But if you don't want to be imitating Tupac and you don't want to end up where Biggie ended up, and I don't think it's a good place, then why would you imitate them? And I don't, like the grills, I don't even understand that, to be honest, right? First thing, you put in like a big old grill, right? You put diamonds on it, or probably fake diamonds nowadays, right? Who's gonna look at it? Why a bunch of guys that you're hanging out with? You really want them to be attracted to your mouth? and then why are they even looking in your mouth? That's kind of strange. I never remember going, brother, oh man, look at them teeth. Oh, Allahu Akbar. That's a problem. I don't think any female is really looking into your mouth. I mean, unless you're already married, and then why are you worried about her looking at your grill, right? So all that's nonsense. Don't put grills. You think that's going to really attract people? It's not. Be a man. I mean, set an example. Be a da'i, be a alim, be a qari. Allah will bring you the best life. What else do you do?
Inshallah. Last question, inshallah. Last question, inshallah. After that, we'll ask the Sheikh to do a dua as well, and we're going to serve food at the back of the main hall, inshallah. And we'll also serve some to the sisters as well. We're just making the arrangements right now. Last question, then dua.
What about the dress code? Some of the brothers, they wear very tight dresses, and when they make the sujood, everything is exposed.
The moon is out.
Should be.
So the brother asked about dress code. He said some of the brothers wear very tight dresses, like assuming pants, I hope. And then when they make sujood, then it's the full moon. So, which invalidates the salah. So, in Islam, in the bab of libas, right, in the chapter of clothing, the essence is ibah, and everything is permissible until we find something being impermissible. So like I mentioned earlier, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa minhum." So if you have a dress that is particular, like the priests, what they call them, chabras, I'm just kidding. They wear a little, they got that. They wear a little collar, right? The priests, they wear a little white collar. That is khas for them. So for a Muslim, or the Jewish people have a kufi. It shrinks and they just keep this. You don't buy a new one. So those are specifically for them, right? So we cannot wear those because that's haram. Or we try to imitate kuffar and fusar. But the essence is, like if you wear loose pants or loose jeans or loose shirt, there's nothing wrong with that, right? This is a am dress. As long as for men it's above the ankles and it's not fully red or it's not silk for men and so on. You know the rules for men, gold and things that are haram and things. For women, obviously they have their own hijab and abaya and their rulings and regulations. Now, if you wear something that is a libas of a Muslim, like a dress that represents you as a Muslim, whether it's a shalwar kameez or a thawb, whatever, that's great. And we don't really say it's sunnah because, I mean, like the sunnah, if you go into the clothes of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they're not like anything any of us are wearing, to be honest, right? But they are Muslim. Like if I see you, I will recognize you as a Muslim, and if I have questions about Islam, I would ask you. So that's a good thing. That's mustahab, right? But to wear clothes that expose the awrah, like you know those they call skinny jeans. I don't know if you guys got them out here, right? And, you know, for the little friendly men. You know so those skinny jeans where that, like if you go into sujood then it shows the merchandise. That's haram because it exposes your awrah, even if it doesn't necessarily show. When it's so tight, like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about the women that will be covered but naked, like meaning that the tight, like yoga pants that you see some nowadays, right? So for you to wear those things outside where people who are not supposed to see your awrah see it, it's not correct. Especially some of the young brothers that wear it in the masjid, or some of the older brothers too, it's the worst. And then they make sujood and they invalidate their own salah and destroy the khushu of the brother behind them. So we shouldn't. Hey, wear some loose clothing. I mean, if you're going to have some pants, maybe wear a shirt that goes over it, kind of a thing. You know, and be a man. I mean, this is how men are. Men don't wear, I'm going to be walking around. You know why? Why? Landed, the entertainment screen like flashed and went blank, and then the lights went out, and then everybody was freaking out, and then the plane like fell like it, you know, where you felt like your guts coming to your chest, kind of a thing. And the guy next to me, we have a short on the One Message Foundation channel, the video of him as well. He started crying. He was like, so I told him it's okay, man. I mean, whatever God's written. He's like, I don't believe in God. I'm an atheist. I was like, oh sucks for you then. So I started giving him da'wah. I was like, look, you know, whatever Allah has written for you, you know, it's going to happen. So don't, you're on a plane. What are you going to do? Jump out, right? So then they landed our plane, and you know, I was very calm, and he was crying, like a grown man crying. You know, I felt like weird. And then we were like sitting at the airport for many hours, and I was talking to him. And after everything was over, and we got back on the plane, he was like, "I wish I could have that calmness you had." I was like, "Well, you could be a Muslim, you know." And he's like, "What's a Muslim?" Alhamdulillah, I gave him da'wah, and he ended up taking the shahada. Alhamdulillah. So this is why you should never lose an opportunity for da'wah. So on that note, inshallah we'll wrap it up. اللهم نعوذ بك من النار وما قرب إليها من قول أو عمل اللهم نعوذ بك من عذاب القبر. اللهم نسألك الجنة. اللهم نسألك الجنة. اللهم نسألك الجنة وما قرب إليها من قول أو عمل. اللهم اشف مرضانا واغفر موتانا إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم.
Yo,